is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So yesterday I did a Toronto Raptors rebuild, and some of you were asking me to bring in a 76ers rebuild, which is what we're doing today. So today we are doing a Philadelphia 76ers realistic rebuild. Now, Philly is actually having a really good season right now. They're atop the Eastern Conference, and a lot of their players are playing phenomenal basketball right now. But for some reason, there's still a part of me that thinks this Philly team might need a little bit more. I don't know what it is. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't think they can win it all this year, but I also... there's just a part of me that thinks there's a lot of good teams in the East that might be able to take them down. That's why today I want to, not a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but there is some teams in the East that I think could beat them in a 7-game series. But that's what I want to do today. I want to make sure this Philly team is basically unstoppable if we can, realistically as possible. We're going to try to make this team as great as it can be. I love what Philly is doing this year. Don't get me wrong. I love the pieces they put around Ben Simmons and Embiid. It was awesome. But I feel like there's just a little bit more that we can do to definitely secure Philly as one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So let's go ahead and do this rebuild. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Roster, like I said, there's a lot to like here. I really loved what Daryl Morey did with this team. He got rid of Al Horford. He acquired Seth Curry, and got Danny Green. So those were two really good pieces to bring into the starting five, in my opinion. But Danny Green is shaky at times. Sometimes he misses, sometimes he makes them. It's just one of those things. So I'd love to get a more consistent 3-and-D wing, but Danny Green is fine for this first season. And then, of course, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. I'm going to try to keep those two around as long as possible. I'm not going to trade either of them. There were some rumors back in the day that maybe one of them needs to go, but I don't think I'll be trading either of them. Tobias Harris is one of those cases where he's playing great basketball this year as well, so we'll have to see what we want to do with him. But looking at the rotation right now, I'm actually going to keep everything the same. They're starting Matisse Thybulle, but Seth Curry, I believe, is actually starting. Matisse started yesterday because Ben Simmons was out, but they did win, which is awesome over the Rockets, not the Wizards. I'm thinking of the Wizards because of John Wall, but Matisse, Danny Green, Tobias Harris. So they want to start Matisse Thybulle. I don't hate that necessarily, but since the starting five is Seth Curry in real life, I'm going to go ahead and make it that way. So we're going to throw Seth Curry. I keep saying Seth Curry back in the starting five, and this is what they're rolling with in real life. So I'm going to have Dwight Howard, Matisse, Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey. I love a lot of the pieces that we have. Don't get me wrong, but I think Philly, maybe if we can just acquire a little bit more, I think we'll be right on top of the East and never be stopped. So that's what I kind of want to do today. But for this first season, I'm not going to change much of anything. I'm just going to simulate this whole year, see what happens, and hopefully by the end of the year, we're still a dominant team in the East, and we can improve on that even more. In the Eastern Conference, which is something I think Philly can definitely do this season. So it's just a matter of, do we win it all here? Does 2K think that the 76ers are good enough now to win it all? And Philly might make a trade at the trade deadline. But one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video is one thing that does stop Philly every year, I feel like, is health. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid are some of the, two players that do run into some injury issues at times. So if they could stay healthy in the playoffs, because they didn't have what it was, Ben Simmons last year in the bubble, which they got eliminated pretty badly against Boston. So hopefully those two can stay healthy and everyone stays healthy and we get a fully healthy 76ers team in the playoffs. That would be super ideal if possible. But looking at it, I mean, 29 points from Embiid, 21 from Harris, and 21 from Ben Simmons is absolutely great, honestly. I mean, if you look at it right now, there's not much more you could ask from a team like this. That's awesome. And Seth Curry with 14 as well. Definitely a guy I want to keep around for Philly for a while. Shake Milton, you got Tyrese Maxey, Dwight Howard, Danny Green, Matisse, and Tony Bradley. So we are playing the Boston Celtics right now, who honestly I would say are a scary 8th seed. I'm not even gonna lie. They have Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They traded for Dre Crowder, which is a excellent acquisition for them. And then they got Tristan Thompson, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Peyton Pritchard, Jeff Teague. So this is not a cakewalk by any means. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate game one as we do end up taking game one. I think Philly would oh my goodness. Tristan Thompson is not guarding Joel Embiid in this series, I guess. That is not happening. This man, Joel Embiid, is averaging 59 and 20 in the playoffs right now. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Okay, let me simulate game two. We're up 2-0. So again, Joel Embiid has another fantastic game. Literally only grabbed 4 rebounds, which is definitely unheard of. And then Ben Simmons 13, 11, and 7. And then Kemba Walker 31. But we're up 2-0 to start it off. They win one game, so they could tie it up here if we don't win this next one. Joel Embiid didn't have the greatest game this time around. Yeah, 21-13 still isn't bad though. Game 4, we're up 3-1, so that's good. And let's see if the comment. Yep, Embiid had another fantastic game along with Ben Simmons. So as long as Embiid is having good games, I think we're going far. And we end up beating the Celtics in 5. And Joel Embiid 47-10. This man dominated Boston. All right. So now we're playing Miami, who upset the Brooklyn Nets. See, this is one of the teams I think Brooklyn's going to have some defensive issues in the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but their offense is going to just be so unguardable. That's why I think they're a huge threat to Philly. Milwaukee could be a huge threat. Toronto, you never know, man. So, like, there's definitely some threats to Philly in the Eastern Conference, don't get me wrong. But Miami, we're on Dragic, Harrow, Butler, Kelly Olynyk, Bam, Precious, Kendrick Nunn. Somebody in game one. We're up 1-0 to start things off. We're up 2-0. 3-0, and let's see if Joel Embiid just 17 and 15. Obviously, Bam would be a little bit better of a defender than Tristan Thompson would, but we are up, and we beat them 4-0 in the second round. And now we're playing the second seed Orlando Magic, who beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 5. Milwaukee would have an absolute freaking, oh my, that city would blow up if something like that happened. Markelle Fultz, Fournier, Isaac, Aaron Gordon, Vucevic. I don't know why Orlando's here, but there's no way this team beats us, right? There's no way, no shot. We're up 1-0. We're up 2-0. 2-1. Orlando does not even belong here. We beat them in 5, right? Nope. 3-2. No way. No, there's no way we lose to this team. There's just no shot Orlando is a threat like this. What are they doing here, man? What is this team even doing here right now? So let's get them out of here. Get them out of here. Please get them out of here. Okay, 118-133. I don't know why Orlando was our biggest threat, but it was. And now we got LA or New Orleans. Oh my gosh. I would rather play Los Angeles here because I feel like they're probably the favorites come out of the West, but they lose to the Pelicans in 7 games. And now we're playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who I don't even know will make the playoffs in real life. So it's kind of interesting to see them here as the second seed out of all things. But we're up 1-0 to start things off. 45-12 for Embiid, having a fantastic game. Up 2-0. All right, 43-9 from Ben Simmons. We're up 3-0, and we 3-1, and we beat them in 5 here. Yes, we do. So honestly, I was talking all that talk and saying I don't know if Philly has what it takes. I think they do. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's just a little bit more they could use, and I still think there's some threats that could knock them out in the East. I'm not saying Philly is the favorite. I think the Eastern Conference, there's a lot that could go on there. But Philly does win the championship here in 2K, which is cool. But I still want to improve the team if possible. So we already won a championship out of the gate as season number 1 without me even doing anything. So that's actually a really good sign. Really cool to see. But going into the draft lottery, obviously we're not going to have a pick. Let's go see what we got going on out here. With the 30th pick, that's not really going to change much for us. We're going to keep the coaching staff the same, obviously. We just won a championship, so why would I change it? We're going to go ahead and hire Randy Martin, Dave Yeager, Sam Cassell, find assistant coaches. And now we'll go to the NBA draft. With the 30th pick, is there anybody? So Tobias Harris is going to be here to stay. Had a great season with us. Seth Curry, Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey. So those 3 guys, these 3 guys right here should be a huge part of our rotation. Isaiah Joe. So there's really nobody that I want to trade right now, which is good. So we're not worried about anything. So I'll go ahead and let the CPU draft whoever. They draft Ochai Agbaji, whoever that is. They also draft Aaron Wiggins in the second round. I'll go ahead and sign him. Matisse, of course, we want back. Qualifying offers Tony Bradley and Terrence Ferguson. I wouldn't mind getting Tony Bradley back, 23-year-old backup center. It is what it is. Dwight Howard, you know, if we want Dwight Howard back, he wants to come back, that's fine as well. But I think what I want to do is probably move Matisse Thybulle to small forward, honestly. So who was just starting a small forward for us? Danny Green. So we could just go ahead and roll with Matisse Thybulle, but I'm going to go ahead and see what free agency has to offer to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean, we definitely could use some more pieces here. Let's go see what we got as far as free agents. So we have Tony Bradley as a free agent, Ferguson, Mike Scott, but none of those are important. We should have a mid-level here to use. All right, so we got Avery Bradley. We got James Ennis at small forward, Nicholas Batum. So there's not a ton of good options out here in free agency for us to go for. Don't get me wrong. I wish there was. I guess there really isn't. I mean, we could use Batum as a backup 4, I guess. We want to do something like that or move Batum to small forward. But I would love to do something here. If I could make a trade, I would. I just don't know who I want to trade. So I don't really see an acquisition. Okay, maybe we do a sign and trade or something with Tony Bradley, who's only a 23-year-old center, and maybe we can get like a wing player, because that's the only way I could see us doing anything right now. So I think I will sign Nicholas Batum to a 2-year deal, though. Played phenomenal, or has been playing great for the Clippers this year. So I will sign Nicholas Batum, who I think could be a nice wing player for us. And then I also like the idea of Avery Bradley, but I think he goes down in overall. So I think what I'm going to focus on is actually getting Tony Bradley back. But I think if I sign him right now, he'll come back on his qualifying offer, which I don't want to do. I want to give him a big contract and sign and trade him, because I feel like that's the only way we do anything here. So Batum, I'm going to sign him. And then it's Tony Bradley style here. He is wanting $7 million. I'm going to go ahead and sign him. And I think $7 million should get us somebody. I don't know who yet. Preferably a small forward. Batum, we can back up Tobias Harris. If I move Nicholas Batum to small forward, just curious, Tobias Harris goes up to an 87, and Batum will go up to a 78. Okay, so what I want to do, I think I actually want to trade Tony Bradley for a wing player, either a power forward or small forward. Whatever pops up is what I want to trade Tony Bradley for. So let's see what would pop up. So we have a first round pick. We have Osman, John Conchar, Chris Silva, Michael Carter Williams, Finney Smith, Derek Jones Jr., Daniel House, Jakob Poeltl, Damian Jones, Wancho. So you know what? There were some interesting options, but nothing I absolutely love. So what I think I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to back up, find a wing player who's making around similar amount of money as Tony Bradley and see if I'm able to find that. And if I am, we will be making a trade for a upgrade at the wing spot. Going for here will be Dylan Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to offer them Tony Bradley and the guy we just drafted out of the draft. I don't know why the Grizzlies would do this. Maybe something's happening. I don't know, man. I just want to get it. This is like literally the only wing player that I could find that would make sense here. So I got Dylan Brooks, who's going to be a backup small forward to Matisse Thybulle. I like it. So I think we're rolling, man. I know I didn't do a whole lot, but Philly is one of those teams that they are kind of in. They're kind of committed to the guys they have. If we're not going to BS here. I mean, they're literally committed to the guys they have. Tobias Harris is making a ton of money. I don't think anybody would take him on unless if you're giving up first round picks. Ben Simmons, of course, Joel Embiid, which are two guys you don't want to trade anyway, but still, I think they're committed to those guys. Seth Curry, Brooks. I mean, I think we got some excellent acquisitions. I'm hoping we can go ahead and have another season where we're in another championship. Philly is built pretty good, and I like what we have going on. We didn't do a whole lot, but like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of freedom to do anything either, but I'm happy with what we got, and hopefully season number 2 is similar to what just happened in this season. Rotation for season number 2. Simmons, Shake Milton is starting now. Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Dylan Brooks, Nicholas Batum, and Seth Curry. I mean, looking at this rotation, literally there's so many shooters here. Milton, Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Maxey, Brooks, Batum. There's just a lot of shooters here, which is what we want around a team like Ben Simmons and Embiid. So I'm happy with it. We're going to go ahead and simulate season number 2, like I said, and let's see if we have another good season. MVP this league in season number 2. We are only the 4th seed in the East. We only went 48 and 34, which is a little shocking to me. I thought we'd be better than that, but MVP 30 and 14 from Embiid, 30 and 15, I guess you could say. 38% from 3 is also great. 50, almost 50, 85, 40 almost. Awesome. Cade Cunningham, Rookie of the Year on the Pacers. Brogdon, 6th man on the Bulls. Eyes Defense Player. Kevin Porter, Most Improved on the Rockets. And Steve Nash, Coach of the Year. And Cody Toole, Executive. So all NBA first team, Luka, Trae Young, Giannis, LeBron, Embiid, of course. All NBA second team. We have no Ben Simmons here. And it looks like no Ben Simmons there either. Okay, but he does make it all offensive first team. And no Embiid on an all defensive team. So all rookie team. We didn't have any important rookies. So we are the 4th seed in the East going up against Chicago in the first round. When you go look at the player stats, I wonder what happened to make us fall off a little bit. We had 30 from Embiid, so he had a great year. 19 from Harris, still had a good year. Ben Simmons, 18.5, good year for them. Tyrese Maxey, Brooks, Shake Milton, Seth Curry, Matisse. So I'm not really sure why we kind of fell off a little bit, but hopefully that doesn't matter, and our playoff performance is still good enough. So we have Suggs, Oladipo, Patrick Williams, Marketing, Wendell Carter, Malcolm Brogdon to deal with. So this is a really good Chicago team. So in game 1, they're up 1-0, so that is not a good start. So what I want to do is I'm probably going to fix the rotation up, and Brooks is going to start, which is something I kind of wanted to see earlier anyway. But game 2 goes to them. So even with the rotation fix, it does not matter. They're up 3-0. So just like that, it does not matter. We are going to end up possibly getting swept here by Chicago in the first round. So immediate fall off. We went from winning a championship to possibly getting swept here in the first round. Not good at all. Not good at all. So I'm not really sure what happened, but hopefully we can figure that out. So let me see if we can maybe come back from 3-0 deficit. Potentially, we are going to win 2 games in a row, 22 and 20 from Embiid. So, I mean, maybe we come back in this series and win in 7 games after being down 3-0, but we all know 2K likes to let me tie it up, and then I just end up losing in game 7 anyway. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen here, as we are going to get bounced out in the first round in 6 games. So I guess I didn't make enough acquisitions to the roster. I thought keeping the roster the same. Chicago goes on to win the championship nonetheless. So I guess, I mean, we lost to the champions, but still, I thought we'd be better. So one more offseason to fix this up. So maybe I need to get a little bit more aggro, a little bit more aggressive. I don't know why we went from a championship to getting bounced out in the first round. That's 2K for you. It really is. So let me see what I can do in the offseason to fix things. So I'm going to keep my coaching staff. I'm going to sign Mike D'Antoni as well, and we'll keep that all the same. We're going to go straight probably to rookie signing, to be honest with you. Not really worried about the draft. And we're going to sign Aminu Mohammed out of the draft, so he might be a good trade piece potentially. And then Javon Quinterly. And okay, so we might have some trade pieces here if we sign those guys. Matisse, we're going to accept everybody here. That's good. Qualifying offers. I mean, we have quite a few young players on the roster to make a trade, a really big one if we wanted to. I don't know about the salary, but we do have some money to definitely throw at somebody. So what would we need? So Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, we don't need. Okay, so Shake Milton, Seth Curry. Honestly, a shooting guard, an upgrade to the shooting guard spot would probably be nice if nothing else. So maybe we find a way to upgrade the shooting guard spot. What will that entail? I'm not really sure. Let's go see what kind of shooting guards we might be able to get our hands on. Malcolm Brogdon only making $22 million from Chicago would be interesting to bring in. Oladipo, also another interesting player if we wanted to go that route. Jaylen Brown, I don't think Boston would give him up. Paul George is at the tail end of his career, but he's making $42 million, so probably can't do that. But a shooting guard upgrade is definitely would be cool to have. So let me see. Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton. They do the Kings still have Buddy Hield. They still do have Buddy Hield, so that could be an option. Definitely excellent three-point shooter next to Ben Simmons would definitely be nice. But I feel like I get Benson or Buddy Hield in a lot of Philadelphia 76ers rebuilds. Evan Fournier would also be an excellent acquisition. $18 million. That would actually be really nice if we could bring in Evan Fournier. That would actually be a really nice shooter next to Simmons as well. I don't think we have enough capital to make a crazy trade for like a Bradley Beal. I mean, I don't think we have enough salary to make that work. So there's Devin Booker. Definitely would probably put us over the top right away. Malik Beasley. CJ McCollum from Portland would be interesting if the Blazers were in the market to possibly just blow it up, maybe, if we could make that work. But I don't think we'll have, like I said, enough salary to do that. The Western Conference, did the Blazers even make the playoffs? They did not. They were trash. So you know what, maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to make this happen. He's making $33 million though, so I don't know how possible this is. So if I threw Dillon Brooks and like Seth Curry in this trade, let's see, like Dillon Brooks, Seth Curry, who are both expiring contracts, we're $8 million away from making this happen. So you know what, it is possible. Honestly, we can make this happen. So I have a lot of young pieces here that I could throw their way. So let me say Aaron Wiggins. We're still obviously off, and I'll give you let's say Batum as well. So we give you Brooks, Seth Curry, Aminu Mohammed, Aaron Wiggins, Nicholas Batum, and I'll also throw you a first round pick. Let's see if they do this. We got CJ McCollum. We got CJ McCollum, who's going to be an immediate upgrade to the 76ers roster. Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, CJ McCollum, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris. We just gave up a little bit of depth, though. Can't lie about that. That is obviously something that we just did. We don't really need a backup guard. So Javon Quinterly, who we just drafted, I'm sorry, but we kind of have to trade you for something different. We don't really need you here. So I could definitely use a backup wing player because we don't have any right now looking at it. So Mano quickly, Josh Green from the Mavericks, Derek Culver, Malachi Flynn, Theo, Jalen McDaniels, Jalen Noel actually would be really nice in the first round picks. I think I'm going to do the Terrence Mann trade from the Clippers. Nick Richards as well. I don't like some of these because some of these I feel like are kind of hefty assets that we're getting in return, and I just don't know. Josh Green, a first round pick from the Mavericks. I guess if we want to do something like this, I don't think a first round pick is necessary though. You know what? I'll just do Josh Green. We'll get a backup small forward in Josh Green, and then all we really need is a big. All we need is a big, and we're ready. So Daniel Tias, I think, would be perfect, honestly. Backup big, Daniel Tias would be a perfect player to have backing up Joel Embiid. So I like it. That is going to be our final offseason. We got CJ McCollum. We got a lot more aggressive in this offseason. CJ McCollum is down to an 86 overall. But at the end of the day, I think we made the necessary move to put us back where we used to be, and hopefully it transitions into 2K. McCollum acquisition, Joel Embiid wins MVP, and we're atop the Eastern Conference once again, which is kind of the goal I wanted. I think the CJ McCollum acquisition was absolutely big. I think it was huge. So we had 28 from Joel Embiid, 19 from CJ, 18 from Tobias Harris, and 17 from Ben Simmons. So I like this a lot. A lot of good shooters still around our roster, which is definitely ideal. So we are playing the Indiana Pacers. Cade Cunningham, Levine, Brown, Sabonis, Miles Turner, Karis LeVert. This isn't going to be an easy series by any means. Simulating current round against them, we're up 3-1. We beat them in 5. Okay, so good. So now we're playing the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, Grayson Allen, Collins, Okongwu, Jonathan Isaac. So yeah, a good Hawks team, but I still think we're better as we beat them in 6. And now we're playing the Orlando Magic, who faced us in the very first season. They have Jaren Jackson there. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can. They're up 1-0. They're up 2-0. No way. No, there's no way, man. Why is Orlando so good in this game? It makes no sense. All right, so winning game 3. All right, 1-2. 3-1. Come on, bro. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Let's not do this. Let's not do this, 2K. Let me beat Orlando. Let me go to the NBA Finals like I should be. Orlando doesn't beat us. They don't beat us here. Let's go. 103 to 115, 24 and 27 from Embiid. That's what I love to see. We got New Orleans in the NBA Finals again if we're able to get past Orlando here, which we should. We should not lose to this team, and we are going to lose. Okay, so never mind. We lost 114 to 122, 23 8 and 4. And we got the Magic and the Pelicans, and the Pelicans go on to win the championship. So, despite the CJ McCollum acquisition, despite what I all did in this video, we only came away with 1 championship. But hey, Philadelphia, going to be a really interesting team to watch in the playoffs this year if they're able to stay healthy, and I wish them all the best in doing that. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. But this Crushables, I'm saying peace.